Hello, 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 hello. My goodness. Today is January 18, 2017. And we got lots to talk about. Oh, where to begin? Just learning, we learn so much by observing silently without judging. We see things. We have clearer understanding when we just kind of put ourselves in a neutral position as far as making any kind of judgment or determination about a thing. You just watch it. And I think I'm going to go this way, actually. So the thing we're going to talk about is something that we've talked about before, but we're going to kind of develop it, branch out in a different direction than we have before. And the subject is living authentically. Sounds great on paper, right? Okay, easy peasy, no problem. Not so much. And the first thing we're going to say about those of us who find it difficult to live authentically, is that it's not because we are masters of deception, or we're trying to get over on people, or we're really evil at our core and we're just trying to hide it. It's true, we are trying to hide something, but it's not, we don't want to demonize it to something that's evil or bad, because that's, that may be true in some cases, but maybe in most cases, that's not really what's going on. When we don't live truly the way we are feeling, and based on the things that we're learning in our experience, living from our heart, living from our truth. When we don't do that, it's usually because of other people. We're not going to say always, because you can't do that, but oftentimes, it's because of other people, what they think about us, and so it's really fear-based, is what we're saying, when we choose to become something other, or pretend to be something other than what we really are. It's not pretending like we said, in an evil way, I'm gonna get over, like that. But when we basically are not being true to ourselves, it's because of fear of what other people think. That's one aspect. And the other thing is, okay, there should be room for me to come in here too, mister. There's no reason to be right in the middle. Did you just get your driver's license? God damn. People drive crazy in parking lots. Like, you know what? The freeway is not that far away. Just, hold your horses and wait till you get over there before you start driving the speed limit for that. Anyway, but the other thing is that we've gotten used to other people dictating our worth to us, okay? Because pretty much as soon as we pop out of our mama's belly, we're told, okay, we need to fix you now. We need to get you on board to how it's done here. And it's exactly not what you are right now, but we're going to fix that. We're going to make you something else. And we're always going to be drilling it into your head from the time you were a little tiny thing that you're just not quite right the way you are. So we grow up in that environment. We grow up like that years and years and years and years, you know, and depending on what family you were lucky enough to be born into, you know, that it varies in degree as far as how, and not just family, social, you know, the environment, the culture, all that stuff. You know, some places are not as like aggressive with fixing you, but some cultures are, and some families are, and some social classes are. And if you've come from that, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about, because that's what has inspired this recording right now, is I'm observing a situation like that. If you come from that, where now you're a grown-up, you're an adult, but you don't know who the hell you are, and you feel very unsure of whoever that might be. You've just been jumping through hoops your entire life trying to prove that you can be better than what you are, which obviously, according to all the messages you've been getting, is that you don't measure up. And if you're an adult like that, it's tough. It's really tough to be in that situation, but it's going to be real hard to even know what your authenticity is. It is stripped down to maybe there's some bare bones of it left. There are, but it's so covered over in all the shit that's been put on you all these years. But the thing is, we are moving into a new age or a new way of being here as humans. And, you know, for generations of time, it's just been that way. But now the energies in this place have changed to such a degree that people who 100 or 1,000 years ago maybe would have just rolled over and said, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I have to do what I have to do, and that's it. You know, eke out the best living I can, and I'll hope for better in my next lifetime. But now, with the energy so high, and with people all over the planet are saying, no, time's up. Can't do that anymore. It's affecting change, and it's making it's putting people in a very challenging situation now because, you know, because we have a conscience and we have an intuitive part of us that basically has been getting shut down constantly. It's just been, you know, because that's what your authenticity is. It lies in there. And, you know, more people are tuning into that. That's affecting people, making it very challenging for people who are struggling now with, okay, so, you know, I've been living this way for years, basically being dictated to by society and family and everything, how to be a better version of myself, which, whatever that means, how to not be me. And I've been living like this, and I kind of got it down to a science now. I know what to do to keep my parents appeased and to keep my friends, you know, from getting on my ass, and from keeping my peers from whatever. But now I'm faced with the truth of it in myself. In a way, it's almost like your trueness inside is screaming now and saying, why are you doing this to me? Why are you causing me so much pain? And it hurts now. It really hurts. I can see it. I can see it in the eyes. It breaks your heart to realize that the people in your life that you really, it's everything to believe that they have your best interest at heart. And it's a really hard reality to understand that they have their own best interest at heart, because you are a reflection of them when they are associating with you. When people know that you are associated with someone, that's how people are. It's just like, this is the way I've chosen to live, and you need to be that way too. Otherwise, we can't hang. You see? Is that understandable? Let me try to make it more clear. People who have lived that way for very long are really stuck in it. And then when they see somebody that's in their life that's kind of coming out of it, they're like, oh, fuck that. You see? So even if they see that what if the person's crying? Like, listen, I can't be what you want me to be anymore. I don't feel right. I don't feel good. I'm not happy. And they're like, shit, too bad. It is what it is. I have to do it. My parents had to do it. Everybody else has to do it. You have to do it. And what's really bad is sometimes people are given ultimatums like, listen, either get with the program, you live the fake life and do what I say, or I'm cutting your ass off. And or they'll hint to it. They might not come out in so many words and say it, but, or they'll make things very difficult for you. They'll purposely make things difficult on purpose, and it's not because they're evil either. It's because your shit is fucking with their shit now. Now you can't have me starting to question the way I've always lived. I've lived like this 50, 60, 70 years. You're not going to come along with your ideas of trying to be happy and not do things the way everybody is doing them and mess up my shit. You see, so people feel that for them, it's also fear-based. But, the truth is that whatever you want to call it, it's not your best interest. If you're coming to someone saying, listen, I am not fucking happy. I can't do this anymore. And they say, well, they give you that blank stare like, because they don't know. They haven't allowed themselves to even sort of entertain an idea of, maybe life doesn't have to be this way. The fear has got them gripped, you see? So they don't have any concept when you say, I'm not happy. They're thinking, yeah, well, join the club. Nobody's happy. Tough. Life is hard. And they don't get it. And it's not because they don't want to love you or because they hate you. It's just because now when you start to make shifts, that's causing feelings to come up in them. Maybe even questions or doubts that they're not ready to deal with. And it'd be much easier for them if you would just stay with the program, walk the walk, talk the talk, and that's it, you see. But that's kind of the aspect we wanted to get into. This is just going to be a part one, I think, because it's already almost 15 minutes. But, when we're talking about living in authenticity, it's so complicated. Lives are involved, feelings, connections, lifelong connections and relationships and everything have the potential of being permanently altered or severed. You see, so you can't just look at people and say, oh, you fake ass. Something's wrong with you. You're bad. You're not right. You know what? It's not easy. And so we want to have compassion for that. So some of us, have realized that, damn, basically, almost 100% of the way I was living has to change, and have gotten on board and started to make the adjustments, because the old ways were for the old paradigm, and we're moving into a new, and those can't come with us. And so and not even easily. If we think back to some of the challenges, some of the, initial challenges of that, it was fucking hard. So we got to have compassion for people, and it's not even, it's just not easy. It's just not easy. And earlier, this like visual came to me of like a seed, if you know what a seed is, and there's all this information for whatever it has the potential to transform into, whether it's a flower, a tree, a plant, a blade of grass, whatever it is, or any other kind of form of life that comes from a seed. So all this information is just kind of bound in that tiny little seed. But the visual that came to me was, if you could imagine the feeling of taking in the water, taking in the nutrients that are going to cause you to burst out of that seed and become more. The potential is there. But what would that sensation feel like if you could be that seed and feel that burst of all of that just start to spring forth? It probably wouldn't feel comfortable. It might feel a little bit painful, Everything's been just secure and tight and closed up in there like that. But it's not supposed to stay that way. A seed there's nothing going on there. If I hand you a seed, you're going to be like, okay, so now what? What can I do with this? And of course you can plant it, but as that, if I just give you a seed and just, and say, just keep it like this. Don't do anything with this seed. And you're like, that's kind of stupid. What are you going to do with a goddamn seed? And then just leave it, And that's the thing. What do you do with it? It's meant to have something done. And so are we. But it's just not easy. So anyway, that's that. And we'll probably continue this at some point. But I think we basically hit all the points that we wanted to in this recording. So if you're out there and you're dealing with this situation, maybe it's extreme, or maybe you're like, you know what, it's not as bad as what you've described here, but I do feel kind of like I'm being stifled by the people around me, then hopefully, that means something resonated, and hopefully, you'll be able to use the information to help you in your growth too. So that's it. I'm at my destination. I've been at my destination. You probably heard the engine go off. And as always, much love to you, and, all that jazz. Bye.